You know that feeling. It's very specific, very modern. It's like 2:00 p.m. on a Tuesday. You've got, I don't know, 17 browser tabs open in your brain.
Right.
You're trying to schedule a dentist appointment. You're worried about some deadline. You're trying to remember if you even had a glass of water today, and your mom just texted you again.
The everything, everywhere, all at once syndrome.
Exactly. And we always blame, our phones or the gig economy or just modern life. It feels like a new problem. But today, we're going to look at some source material that suggests this whole juggling act is actually, well, an ancient archetypal human experience.
And we're talking about a deck of cards.
We are, specifically the tarot.
And before you or anyone listening tunes out thinking we're about to predict lottery numbers, let's be very clear about the mission here.
Yeah, no crystal balls today.
None. We are not looking at this as fortune telling. We're treating the tarot as a repository of archetypes, almost like a visual library of human psychology.
And we've got a great stack of guides here. We have Liz Dean's Quick and Easy Guide, some really dense symbolic breakdowns from Los Arcanos, historical context on the classic Rider-Waite deck, and this is my absolute favorite, a source that interprets all these ancient symbols through the lens of a surfer dude.
Which honestly might be the most philosophical source in the whole pile.
It really is. So here's the roadmap for this deep dive. We're going to unpack how 3 specific archetypes interact, how they explain the way we handle resilience and just chaos.
So we have strength, we have death, and we have the anchor for the whole discussion, the Two of Pentacles.
But to get there, we first have to understand the architecture of the deck, right? The 2 tiers.
Yes, the major arcana and the minor arcana.
And arcana just means mysteries or secrets.
Exactly. Liz Dean describes the major arcana cards like strength and death as the big life themes. These are the soul level events, the spiritual lessons. Think of them as the macro climate of your life. They're the seasons.
And the minor arcana would be what? The daily weather?
That's a perfect way to put it. The Two of Pentacles is a minor arcana card. It's about the day-to-day, the mundane, the daily grind, the logistics. So our deep dive today is really about what happens when those massive life themes like grief or courage collide with the daily reality of just paying bills and answering emails.
Which is where most of us live.
Yeah.
Right in that collision. So let's start there with that daily reality, the Two of Pentacles. If you look at the classic Rider-Waite imagery, this guy's not having a relaxing day.
No, it's incredibly kinetic. You see a young man in this sort of flamboyant costume, big hat, tights, and he's literally dancing. He's holding 2 pentacles, which are like coins, resources, earthly concerns.
Right.
And they're connected by this green cord that forms a horizontal figure 8.
The lemniscate. The infinity symbol.
That symbol is so crucial. It suggests that the energy needed to keep these things moving is, well, infinite. It's a closed loop. He's dancing with the rhythm of constant change. And in the background, you have these ships just tossing on huge waves. Everything is moving.
Liz Dean mentions this card often pops up when there's a financial decision, a new job, moving house. But what strikes me is his face. The descriptions say he doesn't look stressed. He just looks focused.
That is the key insight. The vibe isn't, I'm drowning. It's harmony in motion. Our sources really emphasize that this isn't a static balance. It's not like a scale sitting perfectly still on a table.
It's dynamic balance.
Yes, think about riding a bicycle. You only stay upright because you're moving forward. The moment you stop, you fall over.
Which is why it feels so much like that 17 tabs open feeling. It's the grace with which we juggle our worldly commitments. But there's a flip side, right? If the card is upside down, reversed.
That's when the bicycle stops. Our sources say the reverse Two of Pentacles means the juggling act is failing. It can mean enforced fun, like you're pretending you have it all together, but you don't. Lack of support, money troubles, or just being totally overwhelmed.
Okay, so we have our juggler. That's us in our daily operating mode, keeping the lights on, keeping the schedule moving, but we don't juggle in a vacuum. Sometimes life throws something really heavy into the mix. So let's look at our first combination. What happens when the juggler meets strength?
This is Major Arcana the 8th. And I think for most people, the word strength conjures up images of, bodybuilding or war, brute force.
Yeah, or at least that grit your teeth and push through mentality.
Right. But the source material gives us a much more nuanced picture. If you look at the history, the lion, which is the main symbol on the card, has been with us for tens of thousands of years. It usually symbolizes raw power, organized hunting, terrifying nature.
But on the card, the woman isn't fighting the lion. She's not wrestling it into submission.
No, not at all. She's engaging with it. The imagery shows a woman in a white dress, flowers in her hair, and she's gently opening or maybe closing the lion's mouth. Her hands are on its jaws, but there's no tension. She isn't forcing it.
Liz Dean has a great line for this. She says the card is about inner power and the warmth of courage. It's not domination. Her advice is literally, turn the lion into a pussycat.
It implies this somatic response. It's about regulating your own nervous system when you're facing danger. It's compassion. So now we have to ask, what happens when we combine this deep inner compassionate strength with our frantic juggler, the Two of Pentacles?
Los Arcanos calls this combo the harmony of balance and bravery, which sounds great, but let's break that down. What does that actually look like on a Tuesday?
It's a really powerful synergy. The strength part is your internal state. The Two of Pentacles is your external action. It suggests a noble spirit facing adversity with a roaring heart, but, and this is the crucial part, they maintain the grace of the juggler.
So it's kind of like the duck metaphor, calm on the surface, but paddling like hell underneath.
In a way, yeah, but with more agency. It's urging you to blend flexibility and fortitude. Think about a crisis at work. A server goes down, a client is screaming. The strength aspect is your ability to not lose your temper, to tame that inner lion of reactive anger.
And the Two of Pentacles is your ability to actually fix the server and answer the phone at the same time.
Precisely. It's emotional regulation enabling logistical execution. You can't juggle if your hands are shaking with rage. Strength steadies the hands.
But the sources also give a warning here. What happens when this combination goes wrong? Because you can only tame that lion for so long.
And this is where the diagnostic value of this really comes in. Los Arcanos breaks down what happens with reversals. If both strength and the Two of Pentacles appear reversed, it's a huge alert, a risk of complete disarray.
The phrase they use is resilience wanes.
And you drop the proverbial balls. It paints this picture of someone whose inner confidence has just cracked. That's strength reversed, and because of that internal collapse, they can't handle the daily stuff anymore. That's the Two of Pentacles reversed.
It's a feedback loop. You feel weak, so you drop a task. You drop a task so you feel even weaker.
That's heavy, but it makes perfect sense. If you don't have that inner resolve, the daily tasks will just crush you.
Okay, so that's the path of endurance. That's the keep juggling, you have the power message. But sometimes we aren't supposed to keep juggling.
Right. Sometimes the problem isn't that you dropped the ball, it's that you're holding on to something you should have put down a long, long time ago.
And this brings us to our second deep dive. Death meets the juggler.
Okay, elephant or skeleton in the room. We have to do the standard disclaimer.
Let's get it out of the way.
Liz Dean, and pretty much every single source we have, makes one thing very clear immediately. The death card does not mean you are going to physically die.
It's the most misunderstood card in the whole deck. Movies just love to use it as the you're doomed card.
Oh, by far. It is Major Arcana the 13th. And it represents transformation. It's about release. It's closing one chapter so another can open. One text says, whatever is not needed for the future must be given up.
Given up. That's the exact opposite of juggling. Juggling is about holding on to everything at once, keeping it all in the air.
And that is the massive tension in this combination. When you pair death with the Two of Pentacles, the energy shifts completely from the strength combo. We're not enduring the chaos anymore. We are, and I quote, learning to juggle transformation with grace.
One of the sources calls this finding rhythm within change, which is interesting because normally when you go through a death phase, a breakup, leaving a job, you think of it as everything just stopping. But the Two of Pentacles implies continued movement.
Because life doesn't stop just because one part of your life is ending. It's the logistics of an ending. You might be going through this profound spiritual grief, that's death, but you still have to pay the electric bill. That's the Two of Pentacles. You still have to pack the boxes. You still have to sign the papers.
It's balancing while the ground beneath you is fundamentally shifting. It's the administrative side of a funeral.
Exactly. It implies that you have to manage the transition. You can't just fall apart.
Speaking of managing transitions, we have to talk about the surfer interpretation. I found this source absolutely hilarious, but also kind of genius.
It totally cuts through all the mysticism, doesn't it? This source looks at the Death and Two of Pentacles combination, specifically in relationships, and it uses the metaphor of the gnarly wipeout.
Gnarly wipeout. I love it. Okay, so the scenario the source paints is you're asking the cards about a romantic interest. Does he like me? Is this going anywhere? and you pull the Two of Pentacles.
And the surfer dude interpretation says, this dude has a lot going on in his life, and sending you messages isn't exactly at the top of his list.
It frames the Two of Pentacles not as noble balance, but as just being too busy. He's juggling too much, he's distracted. And then you get the Death card.
And the surfer says, everything dies eventually, even love, which is dark.
So dark. But the advice is incredibly practical.
It is. It says, don't waste any more time on someone who clearly isn't making an effort. If they're juggling you with 10 other things and the Death card appears, it's a signal. Let go.
The metaphor they use is the difference between wiping out on a big wave versus catching an epic ride. Wiping out is scary. Letting go is scary. But if you don't let go of the bad situation, you can't paddle out to catch the next great wave.
And it really highlights the difference between the two paths we've been talking about. The strength path says, you have the power to keep these balls in the air, keep going, dig deep.
And the Death path says, why are you still juggling these? Put them down. The show is over.
That is such a crucial distinction. It's the difference between perseverance and the sunk cost fallacy.
Am I persisting because I'm strong, or am I persisting because I'm afraid to admit it's over?
And it's so hard to know which one you're in sometimes.
It is.
And to help get our bearings, it's useful to zoom out a little bit. Liz Dean's guide places these cards in the context of the major arcana journey.
Right, the Fool's Journey.
It starts with the Fool, card 0, taking a leap of faith, the innocent start. And you go from the action of the magician through all these lessons, the High Priestess, the Emperor, eventually reaching the celebration of the world.
So where does Death fit in that story?
It's right in the middle. It's the pivot point. It's the moment the ego has to let go in order to move toward a higher understanding. But I think it's really important to see where Death sits compared to another scary card, the Tower.
Oh, the Tower. That's the one with lightning striking a building and people are, like, falling out of it, right?
Yes. Major Arcana, the 6-6. Liz Dean describes the Tower as sudden endings, destruction, a wake-up call. It's a crash. It's uncontrolled. It's external.
So how is that different from Death?
Death is a transition. It's a sunset. The Tower is an explosion. And this is why the Death plus Two of Pentacles combination is actually manageable. It's about managing a transition, not just surviving a random crash. It implies you have some agency. You are juggling the transition.
That's a huge distinction. If it were the Tower, the juggler wouldn't be juggling. The balls would be on the floor and the whole stage would be on fire.
Exactly. With Death and the Two of Pentacles, you are actively participating in the ending. You are packing the boxes. You are closing the accounts. It's a conscious uncoupling from a part of your life.
That is strangely comforting. Like, hey, at least the building isn't exploding. I'm just going through a massive, managed life change.
Precisely. It implies a process. It implies that even in the ending of things, there is a rhythm.
So we've got these two modes. We're either enduring with strength or we're transitioning with death. But in both cases, we are the juggler. We are that Two of Pentacles figure. And honestly, just thinking about that level of constant movement, it's exhausting.
It is. It creates so much physiological noise, stress, cortisol, the whole 9 yards, which is why I think we need to bring in one more source here. It's not a tarot guide. It's a script from va.gov about whole health.
The Veterans Affairs site. That's a bit of a pivot from the surfer dude.
It is, but it focuses on pain management and suffering, and it offers a tool that is absolutely essential for the juggler. If we are talking about how to maintain that dynamic balance, we need a mechanism.
And that mechanism is the breath.
Specifically, conscious attention to the breath. The text says, the breath is always with you as a refocusing tool to bring you back to the present moment.
It sounds so simple, almost like a cliche, but think about that juggler on the card. If he starts looking at next week or worrying about what happened 5 minutes ago, he loses the rhythm. He has to be right there.
The source calls it an integrative approach. It's about using the breath to cultivate and strengthen your attention. Whether you're summoning your inner lion with strength or letting go of a past chapter with death, the actual mechanic of doing it, the juggling, requires being present. If you panic, you drop everything.
It's the pause button for the juggler. Or maybe the metronome that keeps the beat.
It's the anchor. When the Two of Pentacles feels frantic, the breath is the only thing that's constant. It turns that frantic movement into the meditation and motion that Liz Dean talked about. It changes the experience from, I have to keep these balls in the air, to, I am flowing with the movement of the balls.
That shift in perspective is everything.
It really is.
So let's synthesize this. We started with this idea of the modern juggling act work, life, health, the too many tabs open brain. And we've looked at how the tarot creates a framework for this.
And we identified two really distinct paths. First, there's the path of endurance. This is strength plus the Two of Pentacles.
This is for when the things you're juggling are worth keeping. It's about calling on your inner reserves, your roaring heart, to maintain grace under pressure. It's telling you, you can do this. Be flexible, but be strong.
And then there's the path of release, death plus the Two of Pentacles. And this is for when the juggling act has become a distraction from the fact that something just needs to end.
This is the surfer's advice. You're trying to balance a situation, a relationship, a career path that is effectively dead. And the cards are saying, stop juggling, let the wave wash over you, wipe out if you have to so you can get back on the board for something new.
It's fascinating because the Two of Pentacles, the juggling, it looks the same from the outside in both scenarios. You're busy, you're moving, but internally, it's a totally different story.
That's the key takeaway, I think. That this isn't about predicting the future, it's a diagnostic tool for the present. It asks us to really look at the balls we're juggling and ask, why am I doing this?
Am I juggling these because I have the strength to succeed, or am I juggling them because I'm afraid to let them drop?
That is the question.
It is.
So, to our listener, take a look at your own juggling act today. Visualize that infinite loop of tasks and responsibilities, and ask yourself the question our surfer friend posed. Are you trying to balance a situation that actually needs to die so you can catch a better wave, or do you just need to find your inner lion to keep the show on the road a little longer?
And remember, whichever one it is, don't forget to breathe.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you next time.